everybody? It is another Wednesday. Today, I am here not with Ambrosia. I'm here with my buddy, and we don't have any names because I didn't type them in. Whatever, it's all good. I'm here with my buddy Milton Lawson, and we are your Wednesday Warriors this week. It is another awesome, fantastic week. Milton, I appreciate you hanging out with me, man, and doing this on such short notice. How's
My pleasure.
it going, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm very excited. A lot of cool stuff has been happening recently on several of my comics projects. Unfortunately, I can't really talk about many of the things that have happened, but I'm excited.
Yeah, man. You have a handful of things that you've done. Tell everybody about the book that you have done that unfortunately has been delayed quite a bit. Will be coming out very soon in trade. So let everybody know about that.
Sure, thanks. I'm the writer of a comic book miniseries called Thompson Heller Detective Interstellar, and it just might be the case that your store might have gotten it today. I just received my copy, so I can proudly show it to the screen here. Brand new trade paper, yay. And it's a sci-fi miniseries about a private detective, goes around the galaxy solving cases, has fantastic art by Dave Chisholm, and the color is Fabian Cobos. And the trade collects issues 1 through 3 with 3 bonus short stories from a lot of really cool creators there.
Oh, that's so cool. That's cool.
Your store will probably get it next week, but some people got it this week.
Super cool, man. I love the story. I talked to you a little bit about it on one of my shows on the House of Indie. And if you guys want to go look back through the archives there, you can listen to that. And we talk a little bit about the book extensively. But I suggest if you guys don't have this in your collection, you need it in your collection. Seriously. Great artwork. Amazing. It's awesome. Written by the awesome Milton here. But man, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what you did last week. I need to know because you and I did something over the weekend, just like everybody else, and I need to know. Did you watch Black Widow?
Very much so. I was looking forward to that for quite a number of reasons. As an MCU fan, just any MCU release date is, a holy date on the calendar. But this one even more so because, we lost a year of movie going to the pandemic. Ever since it's been somewhat safe to return, if you've been fully vaccinated, some of my local theaters have opened up gradually recently. And this isn't the first film I've seen back, but it was the first one I saw with a mostly full audience, and it was just amazing to have that communal experience again, the oohs and the ahs and the cheers, the subtle bits of humor that work.
So cool.
So it was just such a wonderful experience.
So I can't imagine because you got to see it in the theater. I got to see it at home. But even before the pandemic, I was more of that kind of person. I was at home. I would watch my movies. I would wait till they come DVD or on demand and all that good stuff. So I hardly ever went to the theaters. But I imagine that's how awesome it would feel to go back into the theater for the first time, and everybody's so excited about it. And so were there literally cheers and claps and everybody getting jump in their seat like you say they were?
There was that. I don't think it was jumping out of your seat level quite there. I would say Infinity War and Endgame were jump out of your seat level.
Okay.
I do think there was a little bit of hesitation just because, being an avid MCU audience member, apparently it's a practiced art, and we were all a little bit rusty. So it was kind of we were kind of testing the waters. Is it okay to scream and yell and clap again? And it is. So
that's awesome.
it definitely, the movie connected with the audience I saw it with, especially some of the bits of humor from Florence Pugh's character got
Uh-huh.
a lot of reaction. The family dynamic got a lot of reaction. Some of the really intense action scenes really wowed people. That final sequence had people on the edge of their seats. Um, so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was a blast, man. You need to come back to theaters. Did you at least see Infinity War or Endgame, or did you see those at home?
I did see Infinity War, or not Infinity War, Endgame in theaters, I believe. So it's not like I've never been to a theater, and I don't go to a theater. I do. It's just that sometimes I've got so many kids, man, that it's just easier just to turn it on my big screen and watch it. So that's what I did. I watched it in the comfort of my own home, and I gotta tell you, I enjoyed it because if I needed to get up and use the restroom, I could just pause it, go, or if I got hungry, I went to my fridge. I didn't have to spend I did have to spend 30 something dollars for it, but I think it was worth it because I was able to watch it at least 2 or 3 more times, and I can continue to watch it because it's going to be there forever now. Um,
Can you explain to me, like I'm five, what this Premier Access thing gives you? Is it like $30 and you get Black Widow for like 72 hours, or do you get like a month? What? How does it work?
so because I pay for Disney Plus and we do like a family package thing, we do that, and on top of that, when they do the Premier Access, you have to pay an extra fee. It's usually around $30. I spend an extra $30, and I have the movie for lifetime. I just get early access, I guess. Um,
So
and
if you want to
watch it at my
see
house.
both Black Widow and Cruella, even though they're in theaters simultaneously, would you have to pay $60? You have to pay per movie?
Yes. Yeah, you have to pay per movie. Yes.
Okay, okay.
So that's where it gets a little like iffy. Like, I think Black Widow was worth the $30, but do I feel like Cruella could be worth the $30? I can't reach that because I haven't seen Cruella, but I paid $30 for Black Widow. So you know what I mean. So what does that say? And I have paid for Cruella. So but I mean, I knew when Black Widow was hitting that I was going to be getting it. Um, Another cool thing that I was able to watch over the weekend with my awesome access to some really cool content is No Sudden Move. Do you see this new Soderbergh movie?
I did not get a chance to see this, and I would like to lodge a formal protest against the new system that we have, because Soderbergh is one of our great resources, one of our great film directors. And the fact that one of his movies can even come into existence without me being aware of it until it is live, it's almost too convenient for me. I need the experience of the buildup. I need the trailers. I need the
Yeah.
date to look forward to. And so the fact that I've not seen a Soderbergh film days after I've had access to it is annoying to me.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, man. Everybody's talking about Black Widow, but man, we really need to be talking about this movie. Soder he did the Oceans movies, right?
Yeah, where would you
Am I correct?
where would you slot this in his filmography? Because like I'm a huge fan of Out of Sight, and it feels like this
Okay.
might be in that vein.
Yeah. I really like the Oceans movies. I think they were really good heist movies. It really feels a lot like that. It kind of reminded me of like I liked this because it was a heist movie, but we didn't spend a lot of time on the actual heist, except for when it was well. I don't want to say that because you did and then you didn't. See, that's one of those things like this movie did to me. Like I'm sitting here watching it, and it made me feel that they really didn't spend a lot of time during at the actual heist. By the time I was like halfway through the movie. I was like, okay, I'm like invested in this. I'm still going. What's going on? Um, it was all around awesome, dude. I cannot I cannot remember being that excited for a movie, and here we go. I'm gonna talk about. I have different excitement for like the Avengers movies and all those kinds of things. Those are different kind of excitement. But when I get really excited for like a heist movie or like a really good old school type action movie, I haven't had one like that in quite some time. Like I think of like the old school like Charles Bronson type stuff. You know, that old school kind of
Yeah.
hardcore dude where Lone Ranger kind of guy rolls through town and he kicks ass and takes names and kicks ass, that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of like old school stuff that I grew up watching. So this really took it back for me.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, yeah, unfortunately, you did give me a heads up before the show that I should watch it, but I just did not get a chance to. But I definitely will in the next few days.
Yeah, it's really really good. I suggest everybody go out and check it out. But I got some. I have a couple things because we don't have Ambrosia today. We have to excuse Ambrosia. B is out hanging out with her husband. They're doing awesome stuff and hanging out. It was his birthday day, so I suggest you have to have the day off and go. Like don't even ask. You take the week off and go hang out with your husband on his birthday. So it's a given, right? So she's hanging out with there. But so tonight we're not going to have Ambrosia's pool list, but we're going to talk about a handful of things here. I want to know a little. Have you been following? Have you been following this thing here, the Branson Bezos Space Race thing going on right now?
Um, to a very, very light degree, I'm aware of the fact that Branson successfully had his launch over the weekend, and so he
Yeah.
beat Bezos and his rocket cock to the sky. And I know that we all tell me what your take on all of this is because I might have a somewhat contrary viewpoint.
So I mean, I don't. I hear all those people out there, and we've seen it all over the social media where everybody was like, "Oh, screw these guys! These guys are rich, and why are they doing this? Is this really the time to be doing something like this and spending some money, your kind of money on something frivolous?" Like we've all known that they've been building these rockets for quite some time. We know that they were going to be doing this for a while now, right? But on the day of the launch, we want to sit here and start, talking down on the guy. But here's the thing is I'm okay with it, all that good stuff, right? But I hear everybody saying, why don't you take take the money that you made this rocket and put it into back into the economy, or why don't you help with climate change, or what are you doing to kind of do the stuff? So I was watching a interview that Branson did on CNN, and he kind of discussed that he's got another company who actually launched a rocket like last week or something like that, and he said that they were putting out satellites out there and everything. Like we need more satellites out there, right? So we could put more satellites out there to kind of track the climate change, the Earth, and different things of that nature. But I'm like, but don't we have satellites? Don't we have things that are like I get where you're going. You're saying, yeah, we have different companies doing this, but this specifically is just to charter people back and forth to the edge of space, just for I don't know what is it, publicity. I don't know. What are you thinking, man?
So I have a somewhat contrary view in the sense that first, I definitely agree with a lot of the grief that these people get at a macro level. Um, the the wages that Jeff Bezos pays his workers is outrageous. The conditions that he puts his workers under is outrageous. If we're going to pitchfork that guy, Sign me up. I'll bring my own pitchfork. I'll bring my own machete. I'll bring whatever. I'm ready for the revolution. Bring it. All that being said, I wish that we could do this a little bit more democratically and like invert our budget priorities to where NASA is funded, at least 10 times more than it is now, and that NASA would be trailblazing into this kind of space. All that being said, if these guys are going to just, spend billions of dollars on a fun joyride for themselves, I like the fact that they're moving the needle forward on space flight as a hobby, because they've built this infrastructure for their initial joyride. Do we think that they're just going to trash it, or are they going to try to turn it into a profitable company? And maybe somewhere down the road, these two launches might have a tiny incremental benefit for those of us who I would like to one day, be a consumer going to space, before I kick the bucket. I'm Gen X here. When I was a kid, I thought that was really in the realm of possibility for my generation, but it's looking less and less likely. So maybe something like this might make it a little more possible. So
what do you think?
Once again,
Do you think that Branson or Bezos has a leg up on the other? And the reason why I'm saying this is do you think that Branson has a leg up on Bezos because, number one, he made the first one. He was the first one to go and do this, right? But does he have a leg up on Bezos, or would Bezos have a leg up on him because now he can kind of see all the negative things that people are saying about Branson, and he can kind of sidestep those things and kind of come out ahead and make himself, yeah, I'm the second one, but listen, I'm doing things a little bit different and maybe better than the other guy. So, what would you say to that kind of argument?
What I would say is that the little bit that I've gleaned from the coverage is that Bezos has a huge leg up on him just in terms of the process and technology. Branson took the approach he took because he has an airline, and so piggybacking off of an airplane is sort of the way he chose. Yeah. Whereas, Bezos is among these people that realizes, well, at the moment, the old-fashioned rocket approach seems to me be the most economical, and that sort of infrastructure might be the way to get going. If we're going to take tourist trips to the moon, it'll probably have to be on a rocket and not, jumping off of a Virgin Galactic plane. I don't know, but it's good that we're running these experiments to find out. Maybe ultimately Branson's approach is closer to what would be more economical for consumers.
Yeah.
That's
what he was saying. He's saying, listen, we're going and we are doing these things. Yeah, well, I mean, come on, how cool is it to go and say you did that, right? But at the same time, we're running tests, we're running experiments. How much of that is him saying that because he just wants to blow smoke up, everybody's tail there, or are they really conducting experiments? And that one, or is the whole them going to space with these different aircrafts the experiment in itself, and how and what kind of information are we getting back from that kind of stuff?
That's a very good question. I would like to see some good reporting on that because I haven't seen a good answer to that. But I mean, I've got to think that the kind of people that he would have to rely on to make something like this a reality, if he's going to say that with lip service, I think those people would make him at least live up to the word a little bit. Beyond experiments, the mission themselves are an experiment. So the data that you get from running it successfully, I think, is useful. So I know I sound like I'm coming off as a cheerleader for these idiot billionaires. Look, I want to get rid of billionaires. Sign me up for that project. Get rid of them. String them up. I'm
There you
there.
go.
But
Not before we become billionaires, right? We don't want that to get that right, man, because we can get there too. So I've got a couple other things here. I know you didn't watch this one here. But I want to tell you, man, Monsters at Work dropped the same day that handful of other things. I think around the same time the Black Widow dropped. And it's actually pretty funny. They dropped the first 2 episodes in the last week, and they drop it every Wednesday. So a new episode came out today, just like Loki and all that kind of stuff, right? And it's on Disney Plus. And I was like, cool. My kids were excited about it, and they told me a little bit about it. I watched it, and it was actually really hilarious. If you're looking for something that's really lighthearted and really fun, and it follows right from Monsters Inc. And going forward, when they're transitioning from Scream to Lauer. So it's really cool to check it out if you are interested. Are you familiar with the universe?
I only saw the very first Monsters Inc. film. I don't know how many sequels there are. Are the original voice cast members involved?
Yes, they are. As much as possible, I believe, because I don't have that information in front, but from what I heard, and there's new people as well, so there's new characters being introduced as well. So it's really interesting. New episode dropped today. I saw kids were watching it. I have not been able to see it yet. Same thing with Loki. I have not watched Loki yet because I have not been on social media today because I've been doing a lot of stuff, but I've stayed away on purpose because there's a lot of spoilers out there. So we're not going to talk about the last and final episode today. We're going to talk about episode all the way up into episode 4 here later in the show. But yeah, dude, I suggest checking it out, man. It's actually pretty funny. Really interesting. What else do you have, man? You got anything else on mind in your mind? Like, let's talk a little bit about your book.
Well, before I promote my crap, there are a handful of things I could recommend that I've watched recently. Sure. Just this past week on Netflix, they dropped the 4th and final season of a show called Atypical. Have you watched any of that?
I have not, actually.
So it's a show about a family who has a son who has autism, and the experience of having a child with autism plays out in a number of ways in how it affects every one of the family members, and not just the family members, but the friends of the family members. And so there's just all of these concentric circles of the people that get in this family's orbit. They get introduced to the world of autism. And I think it's a extraordinarily well done show. The stars in it, the parents are Michael Rappaport and Jennifer Jason Leigh. And it's the kind of thing you could imagine like an old school top 3 television network making, and it just being awful and cringe inducing and dishonest. Whereas this one shows a family that really has difficulty adjusting to an unexpected life, and it goes to some dark places, but it's a comedy. And the last season delves into a journey for not just all of the family members, but various supporting characters. And I highly recommend it. It's a great show, and the last season was a really good one. So I highly recommend that one.
That's really awesome. There's some really good shows out there that don't really get a lot of eyes on them. You know what I mean? Take what was it that everybody's talking about Manifest right now because they're canceling it, but the creator of the show, he's wanting to finish it out, and he's like really trying to rally everybody to get support behind him so that can really finish out that story, because it was kind of left on a really huge cliffhanger where if you leave it that way, there's no end in sight. So to be able to get something like that out there, I think the fans, I think this is a world where we can have the fans kind of, we've seen it with like, the Justice League, right? Where the fans kind of change things by petitioning to turn things around, because we want it, right? And we want the content, give it to us. Super super interesting. I just gotta give I if I sound like I'm a little distracted, it's because I am, because there's a Suns game going on, and
Yeah,
it's
give us
going
the
on.
update.
There's an update. The Suns are up the 18-11 in the first quarter. There's 3 minutes left in the quarter. So I'm not a big, like I said last week, I'm not such a big, huge sports fan. I'm more of a football fan, and I'll watch that. But I moved out to Arizona from California, and I didn't watch any basketball out in California. But when we moved out here, we had tons and tons of friends who watched basketball, and so the only I know are the Phoenix Suns. And through all my friends watching it and always wanting to have the game on, I kind of had this, found this, I enjoy it, but it's not like I'll, I can miss a couple of games. I'm not like a diehard fan like that where I can't miss a game because they're gonna lose if I'm not watching, kind of a thing. I'm not that superstitious. I'll catch a game or two and I'll get excited here and there, but it's not my thing. You know what I mean? Um,
So if you're more of a football guy, are the Arizona Cardinals your team?
no, so that's a funny thing. I was just talking to my wife about this last night because she said the
Oh,
same thing.
please
She's
don't
like,
say Dallas Cowboys. If you say Dallas Cowboys, I'm gonna have
no,
to turn off.
it's probably something, another team that's actually probably just as bad for some other people, but it's the San Francisco 49ers. So I lived in California and we did watch football. And the team that we watched, because we were in central northern California, so that's around where that is all, San Francisco 49ers country. You go a little bit south, it becomes like Cowboys and Raiders and everything. So, but we were all out 49ers. So we watched it all the time, right? And so that's my team. We moved out here. We didn't have anything that was awesome, like on demand, or like, I mean, we did have it, but you had to pay like tons and tons of money for those big huge cable bundles that had the sports and packages and all that stuff, right? And that was on top of your already cable, bill.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anything like that. So we couldn't catch San Francisco football. So the only football we can watch was Cardinals stuff. So I kind of gained this like appreciation for the Cardinals and things like that. But my team is the 49ers all the way.
That's respectable. That's respectable. The reason I mentioned them, I'm probably going to adopt Arizona as my team this year,
Oh yeah.
because the I live in Houston, Texas, and our team. This is actually not a joke. Our team has been taken over by a cult leader.
Oh, are
And
you kidding me? No, this is not real.
look it up after we're done. Go look
What
up
team is it?
the Houston Texans. Look, there's a Sports Illustrated piece. We need to get back to geek stuff because this is going to take forever. But they,
This is interesting.
the owner got put under the sway of this guy who lied about his resume, and he's like a motivational speaker type, and he's brainwashed the owner. And last year they gave away their best player to Arizona for nothing. They just gave
Oh,
him away. They're like, here, take him, because we don't like his attitude. He, he doesn't have the right quote unquote character or whatever. And the guy never missed a practice. The guy never missed a game. He was not. a problematic guy at all. And
Oh man.
so, and then after the team imploded, one of our legends, JJ Watt, he went to Arizona as well. So the two of the best Houston guys are now with Arizona.
That's really weird. I want to know more about this. So I'm gonna. You know, can I have you on next week? Do you want to jump on with us again next week?
Sure,
Okay.
sure. I of course, I doubt people will find this interesting, but
No, this
it's
is really
definitely crazy.
this is really interesting, and if not, we'll at least we'll talk a little bit more about this sometime, because this stuff is interesting right here, man. Because like the weird and odd information that is out there about freaking people is hilarious to me sometimes. No, it's really interesting, man. It's really interesting. Okay, Milwaukee is up at their 14-18. Sun still
Oh
got it.
wow, they went on a run.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a slow moving game, man. It's kind of a low scoring game right here. For in the first 15 minutes, there's only 18 to 14 points. I mean, that's still a lot. Uh, for that's still a good first quarter. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna act like I know. But I've
So
seen.
let me try to turn us back into the world of fandom. Have you and Ambrosia speaking of cults, have you and Ambrosia had a chance to talk about the sentencing of Smallville's Allison Mack?
No, but that's a really interesting topic too. Because back when Smallville was huge, that was like one of the only things out there that you could watch, that you can consume, that was new comic book stuff, right? Related to new comic book stuff, or at least TV stuff. So obviously I was at that age where I thought the chicks were cute, right? And she was one of the chicks that I thought was cute. And now I'm like, I don't want to associate with thinking that ever again in my life, because that's creepy. Is
Yeah, and I was just about due for a chance to like rewatch Smallville because it's a guilty pleasure, and I haven't watched it in like 5 years, and so I was maybe gonna run back through it. I think the first 4 seasons of it were pretty remarkably well done, and Allison Mack's performance in it was one of the key charms of the show. And I don't think I can watch it now with the knowledge of what a monster she became.
Oh yeah. So I want to know here. I need to know, when do you think that Smallville hit their stride? What season?
Episode 1. I think the first episode is one of the best written pilots ever.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer. I don't think I can argue with that at all. Because I enjoyed the first episode too. There are, like, I think the third and fourth episode, it starts to get a little. I'm like, all right, guys, move on with the story a little bit here. Like I get you guys are trying to stretch it out, some story line here, but I'm just like, that first season, I feel like they could have moved that along a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. Because I did go back and rewatch Smallville, and that's the one thing that I did notice. I was like, that fourth and fifth episode, I'm like, all right, come on, let's move it on. Let's move.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
There's definitely there was a learning of the show. The first season, the so-called Monster of the Week episodes were so isolated. They didn't move the large arc forward any very much. But I think you're right. In the second and third seasons, they got much better at making those feel like a part of the entire ongoing story.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree. I agree. We got another live Suns update. 20-16 Suns. I mean, we got to get it. And this is okay. This is huge because the Sun. This is. It's been like 20 something years since the Suns have been this far in the finals. So, really excited.
Cool.
All Right, man.
So,
I do. Whoops, here. I got one thing to say here. Um, I got a giveaway, and I want to tell everybody about the giveaway here because we have a handful of people watching right now, and we have not had anybody jump in the chat here. But for those of you listening right now, I don't know, Milton, did you bring the thing that I asked you that we were talking about, or were you not able to find one?
I don't think I was able to find one if it's what you're talking about. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. About the giveaway. Okay, it's fine. What we'll do here is I got a backup plan. I'm gonna do a giveaway, and it's going to be with the new Scout comic book tags. And if you don't know what that is, it's this cool little card that you can purchase from Scout and comic tags. And what it is they send it to you, and you scratch off a little thing on the back, and you have a code to redeem a digital comic book of your. And it's the first wave. I'm giving away all the first wave, the entire set of the first wave. So what you guys got to do here, we've been doing something fun, right? We've been doing that whole little thing where we do the mystery candy a little bit and stuff. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna kind of do like a little play on what we were doing when Ambrosia was here. I'm gonna do a little play on the mystery candy. So I've got a bag of mystery candy here myself, and I want you guys, and this is gonna be kind of an easy thing. I want you guys to go out there, everybody listening right now. I want anybody out there to go to your grocery store and find the weirdest candy or weirdest, oddest coupling of candy that you can find in the store. Like last week we ate a key lime pie Kit Kat, and before that I had some weird.
Oh, that sounds awful. That sounds awful. I love both of those things individually.
Yeah,
but they're good.
It was a key lime Kit Kat. It was not good at all.
Oh, okay.
my kid loved it because it's candy. They will eat any candy, right? But no, it was horrible. Before that, I had like some white chocolate with fruity pebbles pieces in there, and it was too sweet for me. But I think that would like be like Stoner's Paradise kind of a chocolate candy bar right there. But what you guys do like this, I like today. Here's another one, a weird one that I found on the shelf. It's Snickers popcorn, which sounds like it could be really delicious, right? It's just I'm gonna try it right now. So if you guys can find any weird coupling in the store. So right here, I've got a popcorn that is Snickers popcorn. That's a weird coupling, right? So the first person to find a weird coupling and go and take a picture of it in the store and send it to right here. I will do it on our Twitter. Here's our Twitter. You do it on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. It is Wed Warriors Live. It's WEDWAA or WARR. Look, I can't even spell it. WEDWARRIORSLIVE on Twitter. And send that picture. Post that picture. I will put a post out there with a picture of what we're doing with the giveaway, and you can post it right there. I will remind everybody out there to do that. But the first person to send me a picture of them with their weird coupling, or if you do a weird coupling, my wife likes to. Let's do this. What kind of coupling do you do in your popcorn? How about that? Is that better? Is that better instead of having people go out to the grocery store? What do you think? Should we have them just popcorn and?
How about either one? Either one is an acceptable response.
Find something something weird in your grocery store, or tell me the coolest, weirdest coupling that you put. Like my wife likes to put M&Ms in her popcorn.
That doesn't sound all that bad to me.
We've also done hot tamales, so in your popcorn, so with M&Ms. So what would you put in your popcorn, and then take a picture and send it to me, and you will win the first wave of the comic tags. Super cool. And I'll post all that stuff on our Twitter, and you guys can throw it right there in the link. I will do that later on this evening, and for everybody who's out there, That is the giveaway, the first wave. Cool, man. There's tons of stuff, tons of geeky news stuff out there, but we can end this one early. But I want you to tell everybody a little bit about Thompson Heller, Detective Interstellar. Give them the quick synopsis of the book, and then where they can find it and all that good stuff when it comes out.
Sure. So, Thompson Heller, Detective Interstellar, is a one reviewer called it a space noir. So I think I will steal that designation. It's got a noir private detective kind of center as far as the style goes, but it's in a science fiction universe. So you take a noir private detective and you follow this guy. He goes around the galaxy solving cases, and he usually goes into cases that have some sort of moral intrigue about them. And when the original standalone issues came out, each case was its own one and done adventure, but there was a bit of a overall arc to it as well, a bit of a romantic relationship arc. And the trade collection, which might be out in your stores today, and it might be out tomorrow next week, collects the first 3 issues, but it also has 3 bonus short stories, and I'm really proud of those. The artist on the main stories is Dave Chisholm, and the colorist is Fabian Cobos, and they do a fantastic job. And then in the 3 short stories, we have 3 different artists. The first bonus short story is by an artist out of the UK named Kelsey Ramsey, and I think she's totally unknown at this point. And for selfish reasons, I'm kind of hoping it stays that way just for a few more months, because I'm working with her. I'm working with her on another project that I'm going to be pitching to publishers early next year. And she's just extraordinarily talented and under the radar of everyone at the moment. So trust me on that. And then the second short story is both written and drawn by Renton Hawkey. Renton Hawkey is a guy that is doing a webtoon right now called Ronin Digital Express, which is sort of like a spaghetti western, but in a post-apocalyptic future with lots of cool like manga anime technology type stuff. And he wrote and drew a story that's really cool. And then the third short story is written by Rick Quinn, who in my opinion is the best writer in comics right now. And a lot of people don't know who he is because he's just at the moment is self-publishing all of his work. So he's criminally underrated at the moment, but I don't think that'll last for long. People are going to find him and realize his talent, and he's going to be one of the biggest names in comics. So he wrote he wrote the final short in the bonus shorts, and the art in that one is by Christopher Doré, who's also a bit of an unknown but super talented guy. And I'm also working with him on another project in the near future. So it's an embarrassment of riches as far as like the artistic talent goes. So really proud of it. And it's published by Source Point Press with Comics Experience Publishing. And you can pretty much get it anywhere. You could get it from Source Point's website. You could go on Amazon, get it, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target. But as always,
that's so cool.
But as always, we want to recommend people go to their local comic book shop.
Exactly. Yeah. Super awesome. While you were talking, I'm sorry, I was listening, but I was able to post out on our Twitter that post. So if you guys see the post, it specifically shows a picture of the giveaway announcement. And if you guys see that, it tells you what to do there. So the first person to do that on our Twitter will win the entire first wave of the Scout comic tags. That is that cool little digital collectible thing with a cool little collectible card that comes to you. It's the entire first wave. I will post all that cool stuff. I will send you pictures of what they look like in the comments there. But first person to do that, it's go over to our Twitter account, Wed Warriors Live, and do that, and you guys will win that. So anyway, we're gonna end here a little bit early because I want to go and watch the game with my wife.
Absolutely.
And hang out with kids.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for having me on, sir.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out with me right here. I gotta throw the game's on. The game is on. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here, guys. We appreciate you guys hanging out with me and my partner Milton this week. He is Milton Lawson, creator of Thompson Heller Detective Interstellar. Head over to wherever you guys grab your comics and ask them for the book. It's in trade coming out very soon. So stick around for that one. And thank you guys for hanging out with me right here on Wednesday Warriors Live. We will be back next week. Hopefully, Ambrosia will be back. So we'll see you guys next time. And Milton, if you're available, come on back, man.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a try. I think I can.
All right, man, and bring some friends if you want. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Same time. Same. I don't want to say the same bat time. Whatever. Same geek time. Same geek channel. Wednesday Warriors. Hold on, we got a comment. Who's saying thank you, Chris? Chris is an awesome guy. He's always watching. You guys want to head over and listen to Professor Frenzy show? They do a really great show. I don't know if you've heard of Professor Frenzy, Milton. They do a really wonderful show. They found each week they grab all kinds of indie comic books from all kinds of indie publishers out there. They read them and they break down the books. They don't do any reviews. They just do mostly overviews. And it is hosted by Chris at BTO Bat Books and our good friend Jerry Green, Professor Frenzy. So head on over and listen to those guys. They do an awesome job. Amazing stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out with me here, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace. I gotta play my graphics here. Here's the outro. Bye.